I've stayed with Samsung for years, so I had a pretty clear expectation before this one even came out of the box. My first impression was positive right away. The set felt surprisingly light for its size, and I liked that the feet clicked in without me hunting for extra tools or spending forever on assembly. When I powered it on the first time, setup moved quickly. The QR login flow and SmartThings pairing saved me a lot of tedious typing, and I was into apps faster than I expected. Once content started playing, the picture looked bright, crisp, and clean, and the built-in speakers sounded better than I thought they would for this price range.
In the first few days, I had one small annoyance where my favorites seemed to reset after an update overnight, but it corrected itself and stayed stable after that. Outside of that hiccup, the interface was pretty approachable. I could move around menus without feeling lost, and I felt like someone less technical in my house could still use it comfortably after a short walkthrough. The remote took a little time to get used to because a few controls are multifunction and side press, but once I learned where everything was, it actually felt clean and uncluttered. I appreciated that it didn't overwhelm me with too many dedicated buttons.
I wanted voice control available, so I tested that early. Even though Bixby is built in, I enabled Alexa and got it working through the remote microphone without much friction. That part went smoother than expected. Over several days of regular use, I didn't notice stuttering during normal streaming sessions, and dialogue remained clear enough that I wasn't constantly raising volume to catch what people were saying. Visually, color looked rich and punchy without being too harsh, and darker scenes held onto more detail than I expected in this category. Backlighting and contrast felt balanced enough that movies still looked good at night.
I also want to be honest about trade-offs I noticed. I liked the hardware itself, but I didn't love every part of Samsung's interface. In my setup, some sections felt busy and less responsive than I wanted, so I often defaulted to using Apple TV for day-to-day navigation. That gave me a cleaner flow for how I normally watch. I also added a soundbar pretty quickly, not because the TV speakers were terrible, but because I wanted fuller sound for movies and sports. Even with those preferences, I still think the panel itself gives solid 4K performance and good overall value, especially if someone wants a modern set without pushing into premium pricing. What really surprised me was how strong the picture looked once I spent a little time dialing in settings. Out of the box, it was already good, but after turning off motion smoothing and making a few adjustments, streaming content looked more natural to me. Skin tones were more believable, movement looked less artificial, and bright scenes retained impact without washing out everything else. I liked how slim and lightweight the chassis was, and source setup stayed easy whether I was switching between apps and external devices. The minimalist remote grew on me, and I found voice search useful for quickly jumping to shows instead of drilling through menus.
I did run into one setup quirk where apps wouldn't fully behave until I reset Smart Hub, but once I did that, things settled down and stayed smooth. From that point, connecting services and inputs felt straightforward. One thing I noticed is that source quality matters a lot. When I fed it solid 4K streams, the image had much more depth and clarity. Lower quality sources looked flatter, which is expected but worth mentioning. For my normal use, where most of what I watch is decent quality streaming, performance has been consistently strong. Considering what I paid, I keep feeling like the price to performance balance is one of this TV's best points.